Champions, welcome. The squares have aligned and bingo is nigh. It's time for Elden Squares Season 3. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, we have the team from Down Under, who's going to look to give you Bofa D's. Their primary DLC player is someone who has taken to the DLC streets like a natural. He is a top player in the Scadu Bingo DLC of only events, and he has put his talents on display here throughout this season within the DLC. Very well practiced in the rush squares and looking to take over this game. It is none other than Deutz and his teammate, a natural, someone who may not practice, but that's because he doesn't need it. This guy has the experience, the creativity, and most importantly, the skill to make all the plays that he needs. It is none other than Dino. And now their opponents, their primary DLC player, is a man who is letting us all know right now that he has a small cock. It is none other than Serious Challenges and his teammate, a top finisher in the Rookie Rumble. This guy has rando experience and loot so much we have a term for it. It's called Vikrashian looting. It is none other than the main man Vikrash. Now let's get ready to run that board and square off.
Spit on it.
Okay. I mean, serious. You didn't need to tell the world about that, but you know, fair enough.
I'm sorry, Steph. I had to do it.
All right, now serious mode time. No pun intended. Here we go. Center square.
Center square is gonna be friendly NPCs.
Millennia, of course. Blade of Mercy and Daggers. Yo, chick, she's so thirsty. Is the center square. That is a square that requires both Altus and DLC, and actually we have a lot of those on that board, particularly on this middle line. In terms of the base game plus DLC or Altus plus DLC squares that require dual progression into both base game and the DLC, we have Two-Handed Sword, Dragon Crest, Great Shield, Dagger, Blade of Mercy, Chief, Blood Fiend, and Sanguine Noble, as well as Oath Seeker and Black Knife set. So that's going to be pretty interesting to play around. Additionally, in terms of just solely DLC squares, we have DLC bosses, Mesmer the Impaler, Scatatree Avatar, Iris of Grace, Furnace Golem, and Devonia. I feel like it's a very interesting DLC board because it's pretty light outside of a few big kills, and honestly 5 DLC bosses is kind of weird to work in. Because very few of it's actually mostly collection squares in the DLC, like outside of the big ones in Mesmer, Scatatree, but like Devonia and Furnace Golem, they are kill squares, but they don't count for bosses, so that'll be quite interesting to see how the players work around it. In terms of the base game, Radahn's Great Rune is an option, maybe even an option to get into the DLC, right? Not doing the full rush because there are so many Altus plus DLC squares. Going Altus first, I think, is very viable here, especially with Radahn's Great Rune. We have Kill Tannis Crucible Knight, so that includes Rykard, right? The Tannis Crucible Knight is an invader that happens after Rykard. Estelle boss, as we saw from last game. God bosses again, and everyone's favorite Valiant Gargoyles. I think this is a pretty interesting one and a somewhat unique board that we haven't seen this season, with the Altus and DLC dual progression being so important. What are some of your thoughts, Sai?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's 4 squares in the middle of the board that require Altus and DLC. Two-Handed, Dragon Crest, Dagger, Blade of Mercy. Well, Dagger, Blade of Mercy doesn't require Altus, but it does mean you need to go out of your way, so it's similar. You have Chief, Blood Fiend, Sanguine Noble, Oath Seeker, Knight, and Black Knife set. That means one of 2 things. Either as a DLC player, you're going to set up Altus relatively early, or as a base game player, you're going to push some of these Remembrance boss kills and try to get into the DLC second. I think that's probably the better strategy here. You have Radahn's Great Rune, Estelle boss, kill Tanith's Crucible Knight, Those are 3 different remembrance bosses that lead into squares or that are squares themselves. So I think probably it's going to be very important for. I legit think the DLC player should do the DLC rush, Godric Renala, and probably push for like Iris of Grace, Shadow Tree Avatar, Devonia, Mesmer. All of those are in the direction of back section. You can get an Iris of Grace on the way to the Shadow Tree Avatar. You can get access to Mesmer, Devonia, Shadow Tree Avatar, all by going back section. So I kind of see this as like DLC player rushing back section, base game player pushing into Volcano Manor to get Tanith's Crucible Knight, 4 bosses in Mount Gelmir, 5 god bosses. There's big synergy there. As well as then either taking Radon or Estelle to try to get into the DLC and clean up all of those 4 middle squares that require both base game and DLC access. I probably would prefer like Volcano into Estelle, even though there's Gargs and Radon's Great Room on this board. But the main reason is because I would assume my opponent would be pushing into the Radon play. Like, I think you either do Radon or Rykard on this board. So I think Estelle is the flex between the two.
And to add a wrinkle into the fold, Dragon Scale Blade is the pick for both Vakrash and Dino. They're the primary base game players for their team. So they very well could start with, they could go Virgins very easily. As a bit of a slow start for both Dino, or both Deutz and Sirius there. They both had to do some last second sit at round table and are a little late coming out of the blocks, but not the end, by no means the end of the world, but you know, tisk time loss. What do you, come on.
Interesting choices too. Dino or Deutz opts for execution or long haft great axe. Yeah, a long haft axe. That's kind of an unconventional choice. I mistook it for Executioner's Great Axe, which is exceptional because of its insanely high crit damage. But long haft axe, just your standard Great Axe, and Sirius taking Pickaxe, which is a great hammer technically, but it has the Great Axe moveset and is actually kind of like Blood Fiend's Arm Light.
Yeah, it's and it does pierce damage too.
Yeah, and pierce damage, and like you would want to probably avoid pierce damage if you could help it, if like Ghost Flame Dragons or Death Knight was on the board, but neither of those are on the board, so pierce is going to be a very good damage type here.
Yeah, that weapon's nasty. That weapon is very nasty.
Yeah. Long haft is great, sure, but it's like I probably would choose the pickaxe over it personally. I think just a matter of personal preference.
I think pickaxe is one of the best smithing weapons in the game without innate bleed. Like it's
sure.
Ball, like just standard balls, pickaxe, executioners are probably the top 3, I would say. Probably missing something.
I just want to point out, by the way, Dino took Dragon Scale Blade and is going to Fort Feroth. Probably
he
to
is.
Wield it with the Source Seal. He didn't level into the weapon, whereas it looks like Vakrash may have. It is unwieldable for Vakrash, but that might just be the strength requirements, and the fact that he's on Torrent means he can't two-hand it because it's in his right hand. But normally you would expect somebody who takes the Dragon Scale Blade to just rush into Academy, because to get into Altus, they can just kill the Abductor Virgin duo, and very easily. And faster, by the way, because you can kill Abductor Virgin duo around 6.5 minutes. You know, that's a generous time. And you can get into Altus in 7.5 minutes, 7 minutes. Some people do really quickly. But choosing to go Altus is delaying your Altus. Choosing to go Dectus is delaying your Altus by quite a bit. So it's kind of taking out the benefit of taking Dragon Scale Blade.
Well, the only thing I don't know is, given that Vakrash is going balloons and Dino's going for Feroth here, their starting class may have had ridiculously low decks, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So that is very possible. Yeah, I'm looking there, in Vakrash fully leveled into decks already and did not have enough to wield the weapon. I think I saw 18 or 19. So either way, they needed something to get some juice. This was most likely this was very clearly a starting class weapon that came with very poor stats for it. So
Yeah, Feroth is nice for restore Radahn's Great Rune and stuff. I think if Dragon Scale was wieldable, I would just ignore that leg of the journey and I would take the third church teleporter.
Yeah.
Because
it's
that
also
would get me
not
closer to Valiant Gargs anyway. That would be like splitting between Valiant Gargs and Radahn's Great Rune.
the only thing is I think you do leave yourself open to losing the early game play, like the hard rush, but the one of the benefits of going Dectus is because we have Radahn's Great Rune, Grave and Ghost Glovewort Bellbangs, and Valiant Gargoyles, right? Going to Height and Feroth gets you good map progress for those squares, right? Downside is
100%.
that you leave yourself, you're going to be slightly slower into Altus comparatively, and could leave yourself open to a hard rush by your opponent.
I think in this case, though, it's smart for Dino to just do this because he picked Dragon Scale. He knows that if his opponent takes Dragon Scale, they're in the same situation and they're not going to be able to wield it anyway. Right? So
Yeah. And
the reason
is
Dectus is good is because of the map progression. You get graces. You can't, like, Dino didn't do this, but you can also get all of the charge attack build buffs. You can get spiked, cracked, T-Rex, talisman, and stuff. So
yeah, and Vikrash is actually
smart.
I mean, granted, Dragon Scale is very good for this fight too, but choosing to go Makar instead of Virgins. Overall, I think Virgins is faster, but the economy is so bad here. I can understand the want to go, because even with the balloon route, they could only get to, like, even if you go full balloons into EG, if you don't do the skip in Academy, you could get to +3 at the most, right?
Yeah. That would be at the absolute most too.
Yeah.
Well, you can get the Somber. You can pick up the Somber 3 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm saying that'd be if and only if you do full balloons and pick up the Somber 3, you could get to +3 for Virgins. So, I can definitely understand the reason to not go for that, right?
Yeah, and going Makar, you get a Somber. You get all of your stones, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So. I imagine Vikrash will pick up the Somber 3, so he'll get a +4 probably before he fights Makar, if I had to guess. It just depends on if he has enough money to get the dex and upgrade the weapon.
Yeah, because the other thing too about picking this is, like, and that's also why I understand Dino's play a little bit more. The 5 extra Vig that you get from the Soar Seal is really gonna help as Deutz goes down there to the Red Wolf.
Oh my God! You know, you see it sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, a rare mistake, but it definitely does happen, right? That Red Wolf not the easiest.
Yeah, well, he was like in a weird position. Normally for that attack, you run with Red Wolf. You don't even dodge, right? But he was like behind Red Wolf, and it's just kind of weird to deal with that attack in that position. It just kind of show. Look, Vikrash is doing the Somber 3 pickup here. But I mean, just to kind of show, like a lot of players blast through the DLC rush with Godric Renala and they make it look easy, but it's still always risky every single time.
100%.
They make it look easy, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of one reason why, like, in future seasons we'd like to, and even with this season we tried to make it more like so that you could take alternate routes to get into the DLC.
Yeah, when we were theory crafting, we did not think Godric Renala would be this strong.
Right.
But it is. So.
It's just, yeah.
We're not going to change the meta mid-season, but it's definitely something to look at when we think about future seasons, because this next season will be DLC singles. I'll be hosting that season of Elden Squares with Rambler. It'll be Elden Squares X Scadu Bingo. DLC singles in a new way, or an updated way, right? But then after that, we will be doing 2v2 this format again in season 5, and season 5 will start in April of next year.
So it's Deutz staggered Red Wolf, and after like he's interrupted one of the like attack patterns of Red Wolf. When Red Wolf stood up, he continued. It was kind of crazy to see like an interrupted attack, and then when it's like when you backstab Godric in the middle of that spinning move, and he comes flying out of it again.
Yeah, that was very strange.
Yeah, Sirius, by the way, went and got his smithing 4 stones from Khalid, so he actually has upgraded to plus 12 at this point.
Okay, that makes sense, because I was wondering why Sirius was so far behind. Yeah. Deutz, because like they entered Red Wolf at the same time, but obviously Deutz died. That makes a lot more sense. And honestly, I think if you're planning on going forges, it technically, yes, you are slower to the DLC rush, but you need to get your 4s in Khalid anyways, so I think that's I personally like that, right?
Well, no, if you go the forge, you get your 4s in the forge.
Oh, sorry, I meant reprimand. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but another thing that's like just for the DLC rush, like one of the very important time saves that you can make is to 1 cycle Renala, and sometimes a +9 weapon just doesn't cut it, even with wild strikes. And so I've even seen Shura do this as well for certain weapons, going and getting the +12 before going into the Renala fight, just to guarantee that you get the 1 cycle. He's pretty confident he's going to get the 1 cycle as well. As you may notice, he's just outright killing the school children here instead of punching them. The one reason people will like punch the children instead is because if you kill the school children, they respawn on the edges of the arena, and it can become difficult to find them later. But it looks like he doesn't get the 1 cycle, so it's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm shocked he didn't get the 1 cycle.
He started spamming R1. He should have just went back into wild strikes probably. But see how the child is like way over here on the edge of the arena now.
And I wonder if this is a pivot due to the death, or it was always the intended play. But Deutz is going into Volcano Manor. There's 2 ideas here. He could either just be going Virgins to get into Altus now, or he could be going Renala Rykard in order to get into the DLC. With Blade of Mercy and Dagger Talisman, as well as Tannis Crucible Knight, I think that would make a fair bit of sense.
Yeah, and man, Dino does the cool cage skip, by the way. I've only ever
that's
seen
Deutz. That's Deutz.
Deutz, that's what I meant. Yeah, so Deutz playing it a little differently than I kind of said I would prefer. Like I think he's going to do Renala Rykard, which is a good way to get into the DLC. It's actually a break from the Godric Renala rush.
Well, we will see. If you want to fight Rykard, first step is to get through the big boy, Godskin Noble. We'll see how he does here. Actually, are Godskins, is Noble a guy or a girl?
I don't know.
I'm questioning everything I know once I found out that Moonrithul's a lady.
Oh!
As Deutz gets poked and goes down there, so it's a rough start for Deutz here today. Dino is the first person, or Dino is now into Altus as well, as Vikrash, and it's very likely a Radahn race.
Right, yeah, Deutz takes 2 unfortunate deaths, once to Red Wolf, once to Noble.
And Dino's gonna be ahead here, but it will be a race. As Dino already grabbed the Grace in front of Radahn, they'll be very close.
Yeah, the other thing to point out though is that Dino did
Feroth for Restore.
Setup, so he also has Fort Feroth, right?
Yeah.
Like he has a massive lead on Radahn's Great Rune if he chooses to go for that square first. Seeing as...
And actually Sirius is going Renala Red Wolf. Sirius is going Renala Rykard as well.
I kind of like that, you know, like...
I mean, I like it because we'll see how it works out. I'll say I like it because it's a break from the mold. I've seen so many Renala Godrics this season. Seeing an early Rykard is very interesting. So we're gonna have Renala Rykard to get into the DLC for both Deutz and Sirius. Meanwhile, Dino and Vikrash are racing towards Radahn's Great Rune. Dino not only has a little bit of a lead in terms of the fact that he is just ahead, but also has the Fort Feroth Grace. Sirius gets spit out, but ultimately gets abducted and goes into Manor.
Interesting choices here. I do want to point out that Sirius has killed Renala and Deutz hasn't. Deutz killed Red Wolf and then went to Volcano Manor. So for this DLC access, Sirius is ahead very significantly. It's like he has a several minute lead, barring any incidences from either player.
I mean, I think that ultimately comes down to both Renala and Noble are sketchy with low Vig, and it kind of just comes down to which one are you more comfortable with. We're gonna go back into the main screen here, so you can see everything better as Deutz goes down there. Maybe
that's
Renala first was the
Noble,
play.
Bro. That little switch and flick Wingardium Leviosa ass attack.
Well, Deutz might want both at once, but we got a lot going on. We're actually going to go to the quad screen here as we have Noble on the top, both players going for Noble, and then we have the race to go for Radahn's Great Rune here at the bottom of our screen between Dino and Vikrash.
Dude, Sirius is out here medium parrying Noble.
I mean, this is where Sirius is so dangerous, right?
Yeah.
You know,
He's
the one thing about Sirius is like, if you get an advantage on Sirius, it's because you have like better routing or like a better bingo play, right? You're not beating Sirius on just especially boss execution, right?
Yeah, he's just too much of a monster with killing bosses.
And Dino went down there to Radahn.
You know, Dino, like, I think, like, when Dino entered the fight the first time, he ran backwards to despawn Radahn, and then Radahn just kept shooting arrows at him, and I swear, every time that happens to me, it just throws my fight off, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what happened.
Dino is probably still ahead because he has Feroth Grace, but Vikrash is very much still in this race. Deutz is really in trouble here with Noble. Meanwhile, Sirius gets it down nice and easy. Let's go ahead and put the two Radahn fighters here on the screen.
I just want to say though, like, Sirius did get hit by attacks with Noble as well that would have killed Deutz, but since he did Renala first, he was able to tank those attacks.
Yeah, the one thing I think
kind of highlighting the challenge of the approach Deutz took with such low health, like it's a riskier move.
And the other thing too is like, when you talk about practice, right? The early Radahn is not super meta, or sorry, early Rykard is not super meta for the DLC player, right? Yeah. I know this is a kill that he can do, but maybe just a bit out of practice with it. It was something early on that we thought might have more viability in terms of a route. However, you know, who knows how much he's been practicing it. I don't. I have no idea.
Sirius not letting down the elevator. It's kind of uncharacteristic when you know you need to come back in this direction, because Dagger Blade of Mercy and Rykard, they're both over here, and you have to run this section twice. From Noble's Grace, you can pull the lever and bring the elevator down anyway, I think, but
I mean, it's a bit of a time loss or whatever, but it's also very possible that he, you know, is just so focused on Tanith's Crucible Knight right now, right? And, you know, worried that he's in a race, right? Obviously, he killed Renala first. So with the knowledge that he might be behind, maybe just saying, screw it, we're fully sending it, right? I don't care to waste 3 extra seconds to send this elevator down. I can worry about that later.
See, I think that's kind of an insane idea, because if your opponent is rushing Tanith's Crucible Knight, you would assume they go Noble first, right
Okay,
card,
so
kill Tanith's Crucible Knight. Since they haven't marked anything yet, you're probably contending with Daggerblade of Mercy.
all right, you're right. Okay, you're right. But I don't know. It's bingo.
know.
Sometimes you never know what the players are like, especially this season without the like player comms or whatever. You never know what people are thinking, right?
Right.
And also you got a lot going on, man. You got a lot going on. You might not be so focused on letting elevator down when you're thinking, I need to go kill Rykard fast.
Yeah. You know, also like,
not
fair,
all of us are
Sirius
robots
could be speculating,
like you.
like, well, maybe Deutz did Godric Renala and is gonna beat me to like Iris and
Yeah.
like, because I think there's a lot of value in just running back section as your first play in DLC. If you're not gonna do that, if you're going this Rykard route, then I think you start with Daggerblade of Mercy and then do back section. But this could be one of those scenarios where I just have middle square blindness. Because technically back section's putting you closer to like 4 different squares where the center square is not. And also 4 of those squares blocking the value of the center square anyway.
Also interesting play here by the Crash. He's deciding to just split progress, like split squares. It's kind of similar to what we saw Cronies do last game. Obviously Cronies was able to get away with murder and get both, right? But he kills Radahn and then finishes and then goes for tunnels, right? You get the value out of Radahn, right? Obviously the Great Rune is nice, but there's no immense value in that restore outside of the square.
Yeah.
And then go ahead and just finish tunnels, right? At that point, worst case, it's 1-to-1. Best case, you could get both, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, he will not in this situation.
Another smart thing about going Makar is you are getting progress towards 3 tunnels.
There goes the restore from Dino, so it is first blood to Bofa D's. Obviously, a slower board at the start, but at this point in the season, if you guys should know how this works. The pace is not this slow. It's gonna start to explode. Just a lot of setup at the first part, and there, boom, there goes the second square. Tunnels.
Oh my goodness.
Or the Crash. And Sirius with some serious greed there on Rykard, but is able to get it done. Nicely done. There. Nice job.
Dude, that was getting dangerous. Rykard was pushing him up against the wall. Sirius was about to start getting micro staggered by the little lava underneath Rykard, and he was very close to just dying there because of his positioning and he had no heals. That stagger clutched the fight.
Yeah, it was very clutch. Also, welcome in, Yuna. It's great to see you. Hope you were enjoying the bingo action.
Yeah, so Sirius's execution has been very good here. Let's see how he decides to play this now. It looks like he's gonna go for the center square now. I believe he bought Stone Sword keys when he went back to Round Table right now, which are required to enter into the dagger where you find the dagger talisman. And I think Deutz coming back to Noble, he took a detour into Caelid and he killed Renala, went into Caelid, picked up the Smithing Force. He's coming back with a little bit more health, with a little bit stronger of a weapon, and he's going to get his revenge on Godskin Noble right now.
Well, hopefully he is able to enact his revenge. We will go full screen with him. And now Dino is actually continuing to push, going for the Graven Ghost Glovewort Bell Bearings here. Immediately dropping down, going into Altus for the Watchdog Catacomb. And then he can just go into Radahn's Hole and finish up that square. In the meantime, the Crash is getting his Somber upgrades. So he can go up to +9.
Sorry, my dog got a little excited there.
Oh, that was your dog? I thought you were like laughing or whatever. I was like, It's like you've heard me made the Radon's hole joke a million times. Is it that funny for you at this point?
No, my dog barked. My sister's dog is tweaking right now, and I locked my dog in the room to prevent this kind of thing, but I just seem to have made it worse.
Well, since you have the dog with you, what does the dog scale look like? Where is the dog favoring this game? Which team has more dog as of right now?
Athena, sit.
Oh, so that's why the mod's named Athena.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
My dog's name is Athena. My bingo app's name is Athena. You're listen, okay? It's not because of my dog. I spent like hours researching, looking for any god in Elden Ring or Outer God.
Oh my god.
Dude, the swish and flick. He got Wingardium Leviosa again. That's rough.
I literally said hi. I literally said hi, and that's what triggered Jam to say you didn't say hi to me. I literally said hi to you. But yeah,
hi, Jam.
If there is a god in bingo, that god has it out for Deutz right now. As Dino takes the intentional death there to complete the catacomb. Invikrash could be walking into another snipe there, as it looks like.
Invikrash looking to undermine the Radon synergy from Dino, but I think if I was in this position, Grave and Ghost Glovewort Bell Bearings is a stronger block for Dino to go for, and I would want to split progress on Valiant Gargs with Bell Bearings, so I would go underground first. You get one Bell Bearing, you kill Mimic Tier, you go get the Valiant Gargs Grace, and then you go for the Catacomb. If you get sniped on Bell Bearings, then you get Gargs.
Yeah, and there is the center square there for the Asteroid Destroyers. Sirius claims Blade of Mercy and Dagger Talisman, and I feel like Deutz feels like he's in a lot of trouble now because he's committed to this play, right? You've lost the value out of it, and you're slow into the DLC. Deutz is in a very rough spot here.
He's in a very, very terrible spot. I mean, he needs one more Remembrance boss, so it's not completely over, but it's this is probably like worst case scenario for a DLC start, right? Having a couple deaths on each leg of your Remembrance bosses.
Yes.
And
to go with a bit of an off meta play, right, in order to claim the center square, and then to lose that is just makes it even worse, right?
Yeah.
The only thing he could have going for him is that Sirius might just... It depends how long Sirius sits on Tannis Crucible Knight, right? That's the only little bit of value that Deutz could get out of this.
I think Sirius will upgrade and go right back for it. If he doesn't, then like I would not blame him for going back section instead, but...
Oh my god.
That's terrible, man. Little tail swipe there.
Dude, that's tough. That's real tough.
And it's just like one of those situations too where it starts to go bad, it gets in.
Yeah, like that is one of the things because there's so much pressure in this. I feel like we kind of saw it with Iron yesterday, or not yesterday, last game. Fantastic watchdog fight, right? Or sorry, very good Estelle fight the first time, right? And then he dies to meteors, and then he proceeds to not even get to meteors because he's tilted, right?
Exactly. And meanwhile, your opponent is marking squares, so... Oh yeah, this is very smart from Sirius, actually. He's getting ADK, he's getting the Iris of Occultation here, getting all of his upgrade stones at this at Fort Reprimand. And I do like the way Deutz is pivoting here. Going Godric will give him a God Boss, will give him his DLC access, and he'll have to come back to Noble later.
And actually, I just realized...
And get Altis access.
Yeah, because I think God, we didn't mention this because game 4 and size throwing, or game 3 and size throwing, but Godskin Noble Rykard, God bosses, Gelmir bosses, Blade of Mercy, Tannis Knight.
Yeah. That is kind of why when this match was opening, I said I prefer the base game player to go Volcano Manor.
Oh, okay, you did say that? My God. Never mind,
yeah,
I'm the idiot.
That's what I was saying. It's like, I think the DLC player does the DLC rush. They go get the free pickup scores. You don't need to upgrade. You'll get Iris of Grace, Occultation. You get back section. You have progress towards Mesmer, Scattertree, Avatar, Devonia. You upgrade after getting the Irises. And then you can even pick up your Smithing 7s on the way to Mesmer. Like, I think back section would be the play here for the DLC player on the rush. While base game player goes Volcano Manor, picks up those, at least gets progress towards the 3 squares. And gets a ton of juice from killing Rykard, obviously.
Yeah.
But then after that, they can go, after killing Rykard, they can go clean up Godric, Soldier of Godric, Godfroy, whoever, picking up 5 god bosses, and then they just go get the 4 Altus plus DLC squares. Like, it would be so OP to do it that way, I think.
I also want to highlight here, as Sirius is doing Tannis Crucible Knight, Vikrash is ultimately losing the best plays to Dino right now, but he's playing very smart, right? We saw him double to split squares earlier, meaning, Dino got Radahn's Great Rune, which was a little bit faster, but Vikrash got tunnels, right? And now Vikrash goes and does the Watchdog in order to get one of the Graven Ghost Gulvort Bell Bearings, right? And then he goes and finishes Catacombs, basically ensuring, like, hey, Dino, like, you can get the, better, more synergistic plays. And in the end, I might be a little behind, but we're going to split squares here early, right? And we're just going to keep equal pace. And, I will trust in Sirius to get the edge in the DLC. And that's so far working out very well for this team.
Yeah. Yeah, Vikrash is still making the best of these snipes.
Yeah, actually these snipes, instead of being absolutely devastating, are not that harmful. And you know what? Actually, he could very well snipe Dino here, because Dino's now looking at Catacombs, trying to do the same thing that Vikrash was doing, going Catacombs before Bell Bearings. But Vikrash will get him on this, because Vikrash already has, I believe this is Dino's second, and Vikrash already has 2. Unless there's one that I missed, right? Which I don't think so.
No. The only possible way that this could go towards Dino is if Vikrash, chose bad Catacombs, but the only way this could go this way is if he didn't finish the Altus one.
Yes.
Right. But he did that one, so
yeah,
this ahead by 1.
Yeah, Vikrash will be ahead by 1. That'll make it 4-2. Granted, I would expect that they probably both end up going hard into. Actually, no. Dino already got Graven Ghost, so this is just a snipe, right?
Yeah, it's just a snipe, and Estelle's going to become the next most important square between Vikrash and Dino.
Yeah.
As soon as Catacombs gets marked by Vikrash, they're going to have to either race that or plan around it.
Yeah, welcome in, Catch. Welcome in. If anyone is new, this is Elden Squares Bingo. This is a grassroots bingo league that everyone is welcome to play in. Actually, there are 60 players across 3 various divisions, all the way from rookie to the Golden Order. This is currently a Golden Order match going on right now, and this is also 2v2 base plus DLC bingo. But that is pretty much where the similarities end in terms of this format in Bingo Brawlers. It is progression based, so all 4 players start in the base game at the round table hold. You have unlocked graces pre-Altus, so Caleb, Liurnia, and Limgrave. Once you get Altus access, meaning via Makar, Virgins, or Dectus, you will get unlocked graces in Snowfields, Altus, Gelmir, etc. Now, I said this is base game plus DLC, right? In order to get into the DLC, you have many options, but ultimately you just need to kill 2 2 remembrance bosses. Once those 2 remembrance bosses are dead, you have DLC access and you are good to go. Yeah, it's some very competitive players, some of the best players in the world, and should be a good match here today.
Now, looks like Dino getting sniped on Catacombs, now making a play for the Dragonkin bosses.
Yes.
It's an interesting choice, honestly.
Well, they're in a lot of trouble, right? Because Deutz had a lot of issues in the start, right? We have a crash here going for Physic Tiers with a Snowfield boss going for the Putrid Avatar here. This also will give him a ton of runes. You know, we talk about that first big kill giving you a lot of money so that you're no longer at like 15 Vig trying to fight later game bosses.
Yeah.
And for the crash here, this counts, right? You get the money, and getting those Physic Tiers as well as a Snowfield Mountaintops boss, very strong. Yeah, very strong.
Smart play from Vikrash going for this Mountaintop synergy here. I wonder if he'll pick up the 7, 8, and 9 Somber stones as well over here. He can get a bunch of money, get 2 Physic Flask Tiers.
He already did. He's already he's already upgraded.
Oh, he's already upgraded? Okay.
Yep.
Oh, he's going right for 4 bosses in Snowfield Mountaintops and Physic Flask Tier synergies, going to the Splitting Avatar next. This is actually very smart. Like, as base game player, one of the things that you really want to do after your opening play is then you want to start doing synergy plays, getting progress on multiple squares at the same time.
Yeah. There goes Iris of Grace and Occultation for Sirius.
Yeah, Sirius takes it, not opting to do the Scattertree Avatar Iris of Grace, which I don't blame him for, because Deutz hasn't marked anything. Sirius has no idea what his progress is, so getting this Iris of Grace is just faster. But the full synergistic play in the DLC is doing Iris of Grace by Shadowtree Avatar, but that requires you to drain the water.
Yeah. I mean, Sirius can literally just go as greedy as he would ever want here, right? Like, he doesn't know that, but Bofa Ds don't even have DLC access yet.
Yeah. I think he'll probably go for Devonia next.
Yeah, that's very possible. Devonia makes sense. Could also...
Okay.
Yeah, you can go, sorry.
I just think, like, that, you know, Dino, it looks like he's going to upgrade in Lake of Rot, but he also needs to go kill Estelle, which is a little unfortunate for him because of the... It's kind of a time waste for him, but it can actually work out in his favor, considering he has Altus and Estelle will be giving him DLC access. Like, Vikrash and Sirius have kind of pushed him into the Estelle boss because it's an intersection now of
Vikrash in a lot of trouble. Dude, your rando opposition, the Splitting Avatar dude.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, he was kind of backed up against a wall, so it was... And he was out of stamina too at the same time. That's just like a tough position to be in right there.
Dino is working his ass off here to try to keep this close, right? Because he's going to go for finishing Dragonkin straight into Estelle.
Yeah, very smart play here from Dino. He hasn't marked the squares yet, but this play is making great strides to keeping them in this game.
Also, this is kind of heads up here from, we're pretty heads up here from Deutz. Obviously, Deutz had a very rough opener, but he's looking to just find a way to get squares on the board, right? Gonna go Dagger's Fist only onto Godric here.
I was totally thinking this is what he should do as well.
Let's go ahead and bring Dino and Vikrash here up onto the dual screen. As Vikrash is again going for the Splitting Avatar, working towards Physic Tiers and Snowfield's Mountaintop bosses. Dino doing his second Dragonkin soldier to mark that square on row 4. And you know what? Screw it. Quad screen. We got Dagger's Fist only. Let's get a quad screen in here. Why not? Let's go, baby. Come on now.
Yeah, we got Dagger's Fists only, splitting Avatar, Dragonkin, and Sirius draining the water, routing towards Shadow Tree Avatar.
And Dino gets that down. Pressure. There's Dragonkins. The question is, does Dino have enough time for him to make it all the way to Estelle before he dies? That'll actually be very close. Because this rot
picks up a second Dragon Skill Blade from the Dragonkin.
Power stance? Power stance?
Power stance? We haven't seen it yet.
Vanilla drop power. I don't think he's going to make it. Actually, he can make it. He can make it if he knows about the rot boluses. Actually, you know what? He might just make it regardless. But there's rot boluses you can. There's rot boluses you can grab also that are right on. They're on the right side. It's a little offline.
He's not going to do it. Dino is the king of sketchy.
Oh no, wait, he has a Crimson Flask left. He's good. I thought he was out of flasks. Yeah. Okay. My bad. I thought he was out of flasks.
He'll make it. He's got a lot of money here, so he'll if he sits down in levels, he may not. Like some players, when they're in a time crunch, like if they don't absolutely need the levels, they won't. He may sit down and level though, just to have a little bit more health going into the Estelle fight, or he's probably going to go to a round table upgrade.
Yeah, and as a final thing, I do want to say, since I know we have at least some new people here in chat who have not seen Elden Scrolls before, if you have interest in playing bingo or rando racing or any type of competitive Elden Ring format, or just staying up to date with the league and the community, you can come join the Ignite Discord. We'd love to have you. We have competitive leagues for players of all skill levels. And coaches to help you get better. So if you want to join, we would love to have you. Plus, also same community that brought you the Nightmare Seed. So if you want to stay up to date with the Nightmare Seed 2 coming soon.
Hey, we haven't announced that yet. Why are you leaking the alpha, bro?
Bro, well, everyone knows it's coming, bro. Everyone knows it's coming, and we have a crash. The streets have been saying that the crash is going for Vike. So we will go full screen with him.
It's a mountaintops boss. It's a square. He's doing the full synergy here. Very smart.
And there goes Remembrance Boss's Dagger's Fists only.
Yeah, I wonder how Sirius would interpret that mark from Deutz. This is the first square Deutz has marked. Does that mean he's gone into the DLC, prepped stuff? Like it honestly probably does communicate, like at least that he did Renala Rykard and had Godric available for that square, right?
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and bring this to the dual screen here as Dino's also in with Estelle. What's crazy is actually, I mean, in the long run, advantage is still with the Asteroid Destroyers due to the map progression advantage. But the fact that they are able to keep this within a one square game, despite the issues that Deutz had at the start, is quite impressive.
Yeah. To be fair, though, the Crash is working on 3 squares at the same time right now, and Sirius has huge prio on Devonia, Mesmer, Shadow Tree Avatar, so they basically, granted it's still going to take gameplay, but they have like progress towards 6 more squares at the current moment, whereas Deutz and Dino have kind of expended their prio, except for Valiant Gargs.
But like, it's not on the board yet, and you can kind of sometimes
very well done by the Crash here.
You know, sometimes in a way, like appear strong when you're weak, right? If you can find a way to bluff it, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. How would Sirius interpret the Dagger's Fists only? Like probably like saying like, okay, I've gone into the DLC, I've set up some stuff, and I'm just gonna take this square off really quick before I cash in on my prio. Like, if I was serious, I'd be wondering like, what snipe is coming next?
Yeah.
You know? Because Sirius has no idea that, you know, Deutz has had a slow entry into the DLC.
And
Just based
Vikrasher's
on the timings, could have
Vikrasher's
very easily been on Sirius's tail this whole time.
yeah. Yeah, he could have just been one step behind, right? Vikrash will be finishing up Mountaintop Snowfield bosses here with Magnorm Theo.
That's painful.
Dude, this is a game to forget to Deutz. This is a very uncharacteristic game from him.
It's just one of those days, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's bingo, right? And that's this format. You know, it was designed to be as hard as possible. Not that necessarily picking up a bunch of smithing stones is the hardest thing, right? That's just a mistake, right? But it was designed to be very difficult and, you know, push some of the best players in the world to the limit, right?
Wanting your money here, but you drop 26,000 runes. Go pick up the America's rune for 80k instead. If you're gonna go do that, right? Like in Reprimand, die in Reprimand, just go pick up the 80k. Forget the 24,000.
Well, you know, and one thing that is hard about that though is like, you know, how do you? It's oftentimes when you make mistakes. I find it's for myself and in other events, right? As well as I see it in the players and I do commentary. It feels like when you make mistakes, it's hard to, you just autopilot and just get frustrated. I feel like that's something you're pretty good about, not being able to do that, like not doing that and just continuing to just make the best play given the situation that you're in and not just autopilot. What's the key to your secret, Sai?
I mean, honestly, it's just vibes. Like at any given moment, like you have several choices in front of you. And okay, if I die, like, all right, I lost my money. I need money. I need to pick the best choice from there. But like, to be honest, like I still do get flustered. Like that's what happened with the Ellie Helios game. Like they just like threw me completely for a loop, and I was just lost for the rest of that game. So I'm not like perfectly in control.
I mean, no one is.
It's easier for me to sit here as an observer and say like, oh, here's the best play, right? When the pressure isn't on me too. So it's to be fair. Despite
being a bingo coding and commentary machine, you are actually a human, believe it or not.
I am an emotional, spiritual being, yes. Yeah.
There is actually blood under that flesh. He is not the Terminator. I can confirm.
Yeah. It's not ones and zeros. It's O positive blood cells.
And Dino actually has DLC access as well. He's going for O Seeker Black Knife set here.
That's why I was saying Estelle's insanely is a very important square after Catacombs for the remaining Altus DLC squares. And you, like as being Vikrash, you know that Dino killed Radon, right? So
yeah.
But I don't mind Vikrash doing the synergy instead.
Because I will say, I think Dino and Deutz have held this enough that I would have definitely expected Vikrash and Sirius to be in a much more dominant position. Don't get me wrong, they're winning, right? At the current moment, they're up on the board and they're in 2 fights to mark 2 squares here. But the question is, you know, Dino and Deutz still have a lot of play to come back here. All right, we're going to actually go to the quad screen here as Sirius is fighting the Sunflower in order to mark that square, and Vikrash is doing Magmorm Theo in order to finish up Mountaintop's Gelmir bosses. Meanwhile, Dino's working on O Seeker Black Knife set, and Deutz is progressing his character, picking up America's Rune.
I think Asteroid Destroyer is just playing it more safe and saying, all right, you get these synergies with Radon. I'm just going to go claim an entirely new, like, branches of synergies over here because they were in a leading position where they can kind of decide freely what to do, right? And so it gave Bofa time to catch up. It's just going to be a question of whether or not the decision that they made is going to push them like super far ahead or not.
And there goes Oathseeker Black Knife for Dino. That actually ties the game up at 6-6. Yeah, I guess kind of my point, what I was kind of referencing to was more so like, so often, you know, when I hear you guys practicing calls and stuff, you're like, oh, you know, this format's so punishing, like you make one mistake and it's over, right? And it does feel like that a lot of the time. But what we're seeing is a game where, you know, Deutz has not played clean today. Like, we'll keep it a buck, right?
Yeah.
But they're still very alive in this game. There goes Mountaintop Snowfield bosses. The biggest threat here is going to be the bingo on the column 5. Why can't you hear the bingo dings? Because I don't have that sound turned on. I don't have the audio set up for that. I hate it personally. Like, even when I play, I don't play with the dings. So I just personally dislike it. That's why.
When we were opening this game and first looking at the board, I was thinking the best play would be base game player. They have two choices. They either do Radon and take Estelle, or they do Rykard and take Estelle. Dino did just that, what I said, even though Deutz had a slow DLC start. I think Dino took an insanely strong play, and now he's getting 2 more Altus DLC squares that Asteroid Destroyer actually just can't even access right now. Like,
yeah,
Sirius doesn't have Altus and the Crash doesn't have DLC, so those squares are just completely free for Dino right now to take.
And I think the biggest problem here, though, is going to be, you probably wouldn't be expecting Scatter at this point. It's a little early typically for it, right?
Yeah.
So they might not be prioritizing Furnace Golem, but that bingo would be devastating. If you are used to bingo brawlers, this actually is a different scoring format. It's similar. It's actually the same scoring format as Bingo Brawlers Season 3. Bingos do not win. They are 2 bonus points, and the first team to 13 points wins the game. Each square is worth 1, and then the bingo is worth 2. Sirius in Phase 3 on the Scatter avatar. And very smart,
Wow.
Very heads up by Deutz to go Furnace Golem here.
Yeah. That's very strong for Deutz. Wow, Sirius gets absolutely blasted.
And there is Sunflower
wild
down
strikes
here.
Instead of healing and
Here.
takes down Shadow Tree Avatar. Crazy.
Yeah, but Deutz here is on the way to Furnace Golem. Chat, here's your ding. You ready? You happy? We have it on the soundboard, so there you go. There's your ding.
have
There's the
manual
ding.
dings in
We have
this
manual
server.
dings, yes.
Yeah. Oh! The pressure is on for Deutz now. Like, he has to get this, dude.
Yeah.
Or it is GG's, man. Realistically, it's not a losing because it's just bingo. But if Sirius pulls this, they're at 11 points.
Yeah,
And it'll be
Invercrash is
very,
about to
very
make
hard
it
to win in that
12, right?
scenario. If what?
Invercrash is about to make it 12. He's very close to Physic Tears.
Yeah. This is an aggressive play from Sirius. If he loses this square, then he's potentially putting himself into a position where
Yeah, because this is, I
both
don't
of these
know.
can come back, right?
I also don't know the Scadu and the upgrades, but this is, you could call it a supersonic race for Furnace Golem?
I think I would prefer for Sirius to do Devonia. Like, they don't have any squares in column 1. They like, it's good practice to block every bingo.
Wait, can Deutz get the riposte? Yes, he can. All right.
He
Because,
still doesn't kill the
yeah.
Furnace Golem yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's no, if Sirius can pull off the base into one cycle, because Sirius has a lot more damage than Deutz does right now.
Yeah.
I think Deutz is only plus 18, right? While Sirius is plus 24.
I think Deutz went for the 7s. I think he's plus 24.
Okay, you think he is? Never mind, I'm stupid. Who's this idiot? Why does he get to do commentary?
Why
Oh
is he
no,
not using
Sirius
wild
doesn't go to the
strikes? Oh my
Sirius doesn't go
goodness.
for the wild strikes though. So Deutsch should get this. Yeah, Deutsch will get this. Unless he dies. Oh, please don't die because I said you're going to get it. Okay.
Nope.
He does get it. And there is the snipe. And all of a sudden here, we have...
That's huge.
That's huge. And we have a really, really close game here. 8-7 still favoring the Asteroid Destroyers. But everything to play for here. As only bingo line potentially available would be column 1, or actually there's 2, column 1 and column 1 for Bofa D's, row 1 for the Asteroid Destroyers. And we see Deutz here going for the Hippo. Meanwhile, Sirius is making his way onto Devonia.
Oh wow, Dino's showing a new way to get to Chief Bloodfiend that I haven't seen before. Very crazy looking
skip. I might need to learn that for DRL. Or not DRL, for
that, dude. It looks crazy.
Randocalypse. Yeah, that looks cool. As long... Oh, row 3 is also... Yes, row 3, but that's about to get blocked by Dino. As long as... As long as Deutz can find a way to split to get Mesmer, I think. If Sirius gets Devonia here, Deutz really needs Mesmer.
Yeah, I think that's why he's doing Hippo.
But yeah, Dino's going crazy today. He has 6 squares by himself. Dino's doing one hell of a job to keep...
He should have 5, no? Deutz did 2. Deutz did Remembrance and Golem.
Oh, 5. Sorry, I was thinking of 8. But my bad. Regardless, I think this is...
Dino's going crazy.
Yeah, it's probably the best game I've seen Dino play. Not ever, because Dino's been playing in Elden Squares for 3 seasons right now. He's had some crazy games, but definitely in this format, I think one of the best games I've ever seen from him. As Deutz does get down the Hippo there, Sirius is fighting Devonia, and Dino's in on the Chief Bloodfiend, so we'll go ahead and bring it to Dino and Sirius. And Vikrash is going for Gargs. Because the one thing is, Vikrash only has one...
choice.
Well, he only has 1 Remembrance down, right?
Yeah.
And has big prior on Physic tiers, and he knows that because Dino marked Oathseeker Black Knife. It's an aggressive play. Dino's marked priority on it with Graven Ghost, right? But...
And Dragonkins.
And Dragonkins, yes, but... That it's been almost 20 minutes since he marked Dragonkins, and Dino goes down there with the Bloodfiend.
Oh,
there is a Stake of America, so he's okay. But I think that's pretty much a first mistake.
You cursed him, by the way.
Yeah, of course I did. That's what I do. I'm a commentator.
Caster curse. The thing is, Dino went for these Altus DLC squares, which he has no opposition for those, and he doesn't have a way of knowing that, I don't think, but he really needs to cash in on his prio, I think, before, like, at this point, like, you're
a robot, sorry.
Shown I'm a robot?
Yeah, I don't think it's me, actually, this time either.
Dude, if Ellie was a robot and you were a robot, how is it not you?
Whatever. We got 18 inches of Mesmer up here. We're gonna go ahead and go full screen with Sirius for Mesmer the Impaler. Don't get too excited, chat.
I'll leave and join back. Is that better?
Yes. You sound hot.
I am hot.
Sai is hot. Sai is hot.
18 inches of Mesmer, dude.
Yeah.
Sirius takes Devonia.
Yeah, I mean,
better than I would have liked, but I mean, he had huge priority on that, so I don't blame him for going for it. Oh my God, Deutz.
Dude, Bernie Bingo, the god of bingo, hates Deutz today.
Yeah.
Just hates him.
This is targeted. This is targeted, dude. That's
but
rough.
we haven't seen targets like this since Nartok sent an orbital strike down to Nexus and crashed his PC mid game.
Yeah. Dino closing out this square. I wonder how far did Vikrash get towards Gargs?
I don't know, but here comes a scream. Sirius is in a lot of trouble and he goes down. A big mistake there from Sirius as he does go down. That's tough. That's real tough.
That's tough. Dude, the way he died to Mesmer is so tough.
Tough Trizzy.
Yo, tough Trizzy. Happy birthday, tough Trizzy. Dino finally going back to Noble, looking at God bosses, 4 bosses, and Gelmir. This is something that Sirius is a little bit neglecting. He's had this prio for a very long time, and
Deutz actually has a lead on God bosses at the very least because he killed Godric.
True, yeah. Whereas Vikrash now taking 15 physic tiers. I wonder if that's going to push Dino into Gargs, or
I mean, if Dino goes Gargs right now, because Vikrash is working on ritual pots.
That is his favorite square, man, I'm telling you. It's a one-off square that's not insanely important right now. I think maybe if you're looking to close out the game, it's pretty smart, because if you're assuming Sirius is going to get Mesmer, that would put you at 11-12 with both of those squares, and then you are closing out with anything else.
I think the problem here is DLC bosses.
Yeah, but I mean, Sirius has one already, right?
No, I'm saying saying the problem for Bofa D's is DLC bosses, right? Because they have good prio on God boss, like they potentially can get prio on God bosses, Gelmir bosses, like they're working on those now. Dino should have two-handed sword, Dragon Crest, Great Shield. He's about to mark Sanguine Noble, Chief Bloodfiend. He's ahead on, or they're equal / he's ahead on Valiant Gargoyles, right? But if Sirius gets Mesmer here and then gets DLC bosses afterwards, and Vikrash gets pots, that's game. And that would end 13-12, right? I think that DLC bosses square is the big problem for Bofa D's here.
Huge stagger for Sirius and a Frost proc at the same time. I think they may be looking to close out the game with exactly what you said. Mesmer, 5 DLC bosses, and ritual pots. That seems like a pretty safe way to close it out as well.
And there goes Mesmer down, and we are in the end game now. I feel like Deutz... I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You're kind of you have to gamble as to what Sirius decides to close it out with. Is it God boss? Does he look to do God bosses, or does he look to do DLC bosses? Like, because he has options, right? God bosses, Gelmir bosses, DLC bosses. It's looking like he's going DLC bosses though, and Deutz only has 1 at the current moment.
Yeah, well, Dino and Deutz are both tied for DLC bosses. Dino did Chief Bloodfiend, and Deutz did Hippo. Dino going in on Valiant Gargs, like, it's clearly, if Vikrash gets that, he just loses the game, right? So yeah, I understand why he's going here. I think if you were gonna do Gargs, you were gonna do it after Oathseeker Black Knife set. But
yeah, I think it just, they're not gonna catch ritual pots, and I think it's impossible to stop at this point. Because unless Idrid makes yet another legendary stand and lives up to his name as the 4-time champion, right? And he's not even actually going for that. He's going for Rolana.
He's going for Rolana. It's crazy.
I would have gone for Red Bear and Idrid personally, or Garu and Idrid, either or.
Garu, yeah.
I don't like Garu. I don't like getting licked.
Or you can do Red Bear Hippo. I mean, you're cracked at this point, dude. You've killed Shadow Tree Avatar. You've killed Mesmer. You've picked up all the Skadu along those paths. Like, those like Red Bear Hippo is 2 bosses in a line.
According to Cronies, Rolana is weak to Pierce, so
Yeah, that is true, and he'll just annihilate her with this weapon anyway.
and if this result does go the way it's looking right now, obviously it's not over till all the squares are marked, but that would mean that Bofa D's would claim their first win of the season. And every single team in the Golden Order will have claimed a victory so far this season. Let's go ahead and
Asteroid Destroyers.
Or Asteroid Destroyers, yes. We'll go ahead and bring Dino and Sirius. Let me press the right button up onto the full screen here.
Game isn't over yet. Let's just say that.
It ain't over till it's over.
Deutz is not making any progress towards the DLC, but like the thing is, like, technically the game's not over, but both of the Crash and Sirius are going for uncontested squares, so we can probably assume the result here.
And actually, I do want to say, if Crash and Sirius do win, this will be the first season in Elden Square's Golden Order history where every team gets a win. Just showing how competitive it is. Obviously, you know, seasons are smaller or shorter. Yeah. Yep.
It's history making then.
It is history making, yeah.
Oh yeah. Rulana's Gonzo. Yeah, that's... And plus, Rulana's just a fun fight, dude.
Yeah, actually, you know, I will shout it. I will.
Rulana,
Yeah.
then do.
We've said, and like, I felt it this season, it felt like the Golden Order was more competitive than it's ever been in terms of like at the top, especially. Right? It didn't feel, it felt like everyone had a chance, every team had a real chance of making playoffs, right? It felt like every team, like, you know, you really didn't know who was going to win, and you still don't, right? And this just adds to the merit of it. But Crash is finishing up ritual pots, and Sirius is now fighting the 4-time champion, Edred Black Knight.
Harv, look away from the screen if you're out there.
Harv, look away. I know he's very scary.
Harv has nightmares. He wakes up in a cold sweat and he just has one word to say: Edred.
Bro, everyone else plays the Nightmare Seed. Harv fights Edred.
And there it is.
There it is.
Takes 5 DLC bosses.
Yep, and now the Crash will simply be able to finish this off in dramatic style by picking up a ritual pot.
If he doesn't get bullied by those little revenant lights. This was a very well played game by Sirius and Crash.
Yeah, they played really, really well today. Like,
there's one mistake which I think is extremely minor and actually very justifiable anyway, which was going for Furnace Golem. But other than that, everything else was picture perfect strategy wise.
And there it is. The ritual pots gets marked, and that will be ball game. Sirius and Crash get on the board as they move to 1-3 on the season, and we make Golden Order history as for the first time in the Elden Square's Golden Order, every single team has gotten on the board, and they still have a lot of games to play, right? You know, they had to make some scheduling makeups, right? They were only 1-3, right? It's not like they were 0-6 or something coming into this, right? And they played a great game today, and I think it was a really smart game too, because they were ahead the whole time, and they, outside of the Furnace Golem, didn't really play too aggressive, and just kept control pretty much the entire time. They were just always ahead. And never really gave Bofa D's a chance to claw all the way back, right? Also, I do want to say this will be the last game today, but we have 4 big games coming up tomorrow starting at noon. But let's go ahead and bring our players in here for the post-match interview. But yeah, if you want to stay up to date with those, actually drop me a follow, self-promo, or check out the Ignite Discord for all the updates. Let's bring the players in.
So viel gepreppt.
Welcome in,
GGs,
gentlemen. Welcome
y'all.
in.
Yo, what up?
GGs.
GG's.
First
You on
off,
the
I
board,
want to
boys?
say congratulations to Sirius in the crash. A great win today. First, obviously your first one of the season. Granted, a lot of that was because of scheduling, right? You'd only played 3 games so far. And I do want to say we've made history this season in the Golden Order, as for the first time ever, every single team in the Golden Order has gotten a win. So Golden Order history made today. That's awesome. And you guys played amazing. Pretty dominant, really dominant throughout. And you did a great job of you outside of the furnace golem, right? You didn't go too crazy aggressive. You always had the lead and always just were able to just keep control of the game. A great win. How are you boys feeling?
We on the board. Let's go.
Yeah, amazing. Was a
Yeah,
really,
this game
really
was-
nice game.
I think we played very well. I'm happy with our play. Like, no major mistakes. The only mistakes that happened were like when we were already very, very far in front, right?
Yeah.
Like dying to
Yeah.
Mesmer.
And of course, it wouldn't be Vikrash's first win in the Golden Order if it didn't end with him doing a looting square, right?
Not any looting square. The looting square. Ritual pots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every game I play against Vikrash, it's like suddenly Acquire 5 Ritual Pots lights up on the board, and me and Shur are like, what the hell is going on over there? That's the most Vikrashian square of all time.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Fun fact,
Yeah.
if you get that square before him, he will just explode.
He just breaks. Yeah, rush
Just
ritual
explodes.
pots if you're playing against Vikrash. Nothing else matters. Just go ritual pots.
After
For
that,
sure.
1v2.
Yeah. But really, guys, an amazing job, and I think a well-deserved win that was, due, right? You guys have been playing very well, and honestly, this league is wide open, right? There are, in terms of looking at the standings, right? 6 teams have 3 losses already, right? And 2 of them are going to make playoffs. So you guys are still very much alive to keep this thing rolling. I know Sirius, obviously last season, maybe is this a replaying of
Not
history?
again. Not
Dude.
fucking again. I was 0-4 or something, and then came back to 4-4. Something like that.
Yeah. Sirius went on a crazy run to end the season last season, make a playoff push, and very narrowly missed out on playoffs on a tiebreaker, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, because of a mismark too. I killed the boss too many. Like I had one Leonia boss too much. I miscounted.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the win, and we look to see another late season surge from Sirius as is intended at this point. Dude, if I might have to in the future, I might have to like make it like you get like 2 extra squares if they play you week 1 or something. The opponent, because it's playing Sirius week 1 versus. Playing Sirius week 1 versus week 8 is a very different problem, right?
Plus 2 squares start of season, minus 2 squares end of season.
Yeah. And I do want to say GG's to Bofa D's. It was a very well played game, Dino. I mean, you played amazing. Deutz, I know you had some struggles. It is what it is, right? It'll happen, but you guys did a great job of staying alive in that one for as long as you did, right? Because you were probably going to get the final 3 squares, right? So really, it was a 13-12 game. If you were to play the board out into perpetuity, right? You did a great job of battling back, and you should be proud of yourselves for that.
It was a rough one.
Yeah, I mean, Dino did a good job of keeping us somewhat in the game, but
Afloat,
I just
yeah.
played like the worst game of my entire life. That was horrific for me.
Yeah. I
8
mean,
deaths.
what
to
happened?
nobles.
The bingo gods were smiting you today,
yeah,
Deutz.
Bernie Bingo
It just
literally
happens sometimes,
just
man.
smited Deutz.
What did
What
you
happened?
do? Like, what karma have you amassed, my friend?
Yeah.
Ah, man.
They didn't want us to win.
Too many
Yeah.
games.
Well,
I mean,
it's
it's
Someone
rough,
tell me
but,
what
like,
happened?
Doing too well, you know. It's,
he-
It's out of your system.
Basically, a bunch of noble deaths, like probably like 5+, and a bunch of them were like one hit away
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
from killing noble. So just a massive time waste.
and then after that, he was just
Yeah.
getting smited with like a couple random deaths in like running sections that like never happen. It's just like, well, the gods have chosen him today as a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Not
just
only
put,
that, and like
yeah.
all the dagger and fist checks I was doing were ass.
Yeah, like Smith script and all that shit. Like he like 4 dagger fish checks were unusable.
Yeah.
No, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Crash's favorite
Oh,
weapon.
that sounds
Got
good,
poison hand. But I
Oh,
don't want to use that.
Oh,
Dino had a very strong game though. Like you were carrying a lot.
A
despite,
couple
like,
deaths
the-
here and there, not the cleanest, but played fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a great one, and you know, Deutz, and keep your head up, man. It happens, right? You're not the first one who's had a off game this season, right? And you know, I'm sure you'll bounce back, right? Not to, you know, look at sci-fi. Sci-fi was crashing out in the call after the game against Ellie and Helios, and then he played one of his best games of the season the next game, right? So I'm sure you'll bounce back, Deutz. We all have faith in you, man. Shit happens, and don't be too hard on yourself, dude. It's all good. It's all
When you feel
bingo.
bad, always remember last week there was a player in a match. No one knows which match it was. And one of the players didn't get a single square. But
Yeah, that
yeah,
totally.
that match happened probably.
Yep. Yeah, totally.
Wait, this
someone,
happened?
totally someone who won today, from Germany, didn't play a practice match. didn't play a practice match against a Crucible team in which he didn't get a single square, and the humble commentator carried the team damn near to victory. Surely that didn't happen. That sounds almost impossible, right?
No, can't
Yeah,
That's really funny.
yeah.
Now
I
I'm
mean, you
losing
guys-
to that guy. No, just kidding.
Yeah, you guys just read the board as well as we did. Like you saw how strong Rykard and stuff was. He just beat
Yeah.
us to it.
yeah.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
was also playing 2 sides in the beginning. Like I killed Radan and then finished tunnels, just so that I.
Oh,
get
is that
the
what you
bonus.
did? Okay.
Yes. So I was always like, I'm not totally behind on Gargs. Like I got the Grace at some point before Mimic and stuff. I
Yeah.
got the first Glove Word as my first Catacomb. You know, stuff like that. I played.
Yeah. You
Just a
did
lot of
Simon
things at the same time.
Catacombs.
Yeah, and I played a lot with like that with Physic. Like I prepped 1 ritual pots a bit earlier, so you didn't have prior on that anymore through Radan's Great Rune. And then
Yeah.
went back to Physic and stuff. Then I did some Mountain Toss bosses, and I went back to Physic, stuff like that. So I played just a very long game.
Yeah, you played safe squares, which when you're ahead is how you should play, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah. I took
yeah.
which synergies there was, and otherwise was okay with giving stuff up.
Serious, thank you so much for the raid. We're getting out of here.
I figured, but still, I wish I would go to bed.
That's fair. That's fair.
Give them to someone else.
I guess we can. Tom's doing his last practice before the finals, so we'll send you guys to Tom again.
Sounds good.
We got more Elden Scrolls action tomorrow, starting at noon Eastern, and as well as Bingo Brawlers has their finals tomorrow. MPT is doing some practice for that, so we will send you out to him. I
Do we
will
have a
pay.
game tomorrow?
Yes, you do.
Yes.
You do.
2 hours
Also-
earlier.
Also, who you're playing is getting changed, but you still have a game.
No, I don't
Okay.
want to play
Playing
anyone
Dragons,
else.
right?
I was really hyped about playing them specifically.
You know exactly them.
All right,
Uh,
we're rating
who-
Tom.
who are we
All
playing?
his streams
Rambler.
just.
I want to play Rambler.
No, you can't play. You were supposed serious. You were supposed to play Rambler, but his PC exploded today, and he can't
Exploded,
play.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Chat,
then-
we're gonna
then
raid out. Bye,
makes me
guys. I'll
explode.
see you guys all tomorrow.
Good night.